And we are recording, and it is the start of Shadowhawk 2017. And I know I did put a video up and then took it down, which was supposed to be the original start. Unfortunately, that video is still possibly in my events list looking at this when I was setting up. But anyway, this is the official start of the 2017 season, and we are changing the rules up very slightly. It's still pretty much going to be whoever finishes on top of the league will win, but the league will be determined by a ELO ranking, and I've had to do a couple of tweaks on an Excel document and get it working, but basically the way it's going to work is we're going to be ELO ranked against each of the other three players in the session, and it's on a comparative score basis. I've got a calculation breakdown, but I have seemingly left it out at home, so I'll have to explain that afterwards when we'll do in the Patreon links and everything else. Still, it's been a while since I played mahjong. In fact, the last time I played it was physical copy with Debbie, and the last time I played Tenhou was that day when I lost the championship for 2016 and that trophy by one single ranking point. But I lost it to the best guy, so I'm not that bitter about it, even though it taunts me. It taunts me. So, at this stage, we're just waiting to see if anybody is even around. This is Tenhou, which is basically mahjong. Japanese rules, Richi. If you don't know what the game is about, I can attempt to teach it, but I am clearly not the best. I talk in both Japanese and English. It's one of my grand failings when playing this game and trying to explain it. It also isn't the most intuitive thing. I can teach people to play this game. I've done it, but it's not that intuitive if it just comes to it. We have 3 viewers, apparently. Huzzah. Also requires 4 people to play, so we are kind of waiting for people to join. Though we would prefer, of course, people who have some at least vague idea of what we're doing. If you've watched the anime Akagi or Saki, or my personal preference on this would be Tetsuya, you might have some idea of what this game is about. But beyond that, it's not the most intuitive thing. This stream might, however, just be me staring at a menu, because I didn't really do a lot of announcing on this. I meant to big it up before this time and just did not have time because of work commitments and various other things. But we'll see. I'm usually capable of dragging at least 4 people who know how to play, although I know one of them is not going to be around today. That's going to be Jesper, the 3rd place finisher, I think, in the league officially. And I might be able to drag Vanna into this at the very least. So we'll have 2 people, and we'll just see if we get another person who's aware. There's a mysterious JPB, but of course, since we know that is Marajin, we'll have to find Marajin. Let's see. Just going to send a message to Marajin. Draconis, it has been a while, sir. How are you doing? And yes, the plan is to zhong. Feel free to join me. At the moment, I'm just trying to drum up another couple of people. I know Jesper isn't around, and I've not heard from Viking since he won my trophy. My trophy. The rules I'll explain when it's actually happening, because I don't feel it's necessarily the easiest way to do it. In general, though, each player is basically drawing and discarding from a hand of 13 tiles. There are 4 copies of each tile in there, and we are trying to create either triplets or runs of 3 and 1 pair. The first player who completes that officially wins and scores based on what yaku or rules he has applied to his hand. You need at least 1 winning condition or yaku in order to get a completed hand as well. That's where the complicated bit of explaining the rules comes in, because there are loads of them. But for example, if you have no 1s, 9s, or honor tiles, basically the numbers in 3 suits run 1 to 9, and then there are honor tiles, which are sort of separate entities, but only can be used for pairs and triplets. We have 3 people in the chat, huzzah! Or 3 people in the game, certainly, huzzah. After that... Indeed. After that, though, it's just literally a case of draw, discard. There are various other sort of rules which apply. There is the rule that you cannot win on a tile that you yourself has discarded, which allows some defensive decision making. There's also other rules with regards to how you maximize points. And I think that's kind of easy to explain as we go, although there is a long list. A long list. Even just the basic ones, the ones that you're most likely to be trying to get for in a game, There's about 20 you have to know about. And we have a gamer. JPB is back. Okay, so we have Kung Pao Debbie, who is now third queue, first queue, second Dan, and second Dan Draconis. Okay, good luck, everybody. Oh, let's see if I've got the rust at the moment here. We have what looks like a reasonable starting hand. We have one pair of nines, 3 pairs, a 5, 6, 7, potentially 2 runs there. No easy Yaku, but 1 red Dora. So this is looking like a good 2 Han or 2 value hand. And it's start of the season, so I will be endeavouring to explain. So that's not a bad draw. We'll get rid of the 1 here. At this stage, we're trying to get rid of loose tiles that are unconnected to our hands, and it's looking fairly standard here. So, all 3 of these are opponents I've played in the past, and it is good to have you back as always. JPB, we have no idea who he is. He never comments in the chats, in spite of our insistence that he do so. Draconis is my... I don't know, he's probably the most proficient player in terms of the number of games he's played in the league last year. He has his really good days. I think, on balance, we're about the same level. I just got a bit luckier towards the end of the tournament run. And Debbie is an improving player. Definitely more of a beginner, but I'm not saying that as a slight. She's only been playing the game a short amount of time, and there is very definite improvement. Here, I've got to make a decision. I'm going to cut the 3 dot. Because it's unconnected to everything else. And it might be possible we still get this into a 5, 6, 7, or if we get another 6, so we could turn this into a San Anko, or 3 concealed triplets. Plenty of directions for this hand still to improve in. Okay, we have the option of calling this tile because it's the third one of a completed set. We choose not to. Calling generally reduces the value of your hand, and also reveals your intentions to the other players. If we had a triplet of 8s, which are of Adora, it's always the next tile on from the revealed one, then I might be considering this, but it has not that pricey at the moment. So I prefer to be silent and just try to sneak the win. That's not a potentially bad thing. We'll get the 1 there. I have drink and things. Hooray! Also, Debbie, I hope you're not watching the stream while we're doing this. You can listen, sure, but even then, I'm kind of revealing stuff here. You should really be muting the stream. Because I just revealed what my hand makeup is a couple of times here. That is kind of an unofficial rule. An honor rule, at least. Okay, that's quite good. 7 dot is a risky tile against the left, but he did discard an early dot, and this puts us 1 from Tenpai. Ideally, we'd like to draw either the 5 or the 8 for the Dora. Failing that, though, a 6 would be not bad. Okay, here we go. So it's a double pair weight if we do this.
Each.
Let's go for an early reach. Let's put some pressure on. So we're waiting on the 9 dot and 2 so. Oh, you need a good memory for this game. Or at least the memory is kind of out there, but I decided to go for this one. This is a kind of nothing hand, but I have 2 Dora and reach means it's free Han. So I feel this is worth just getting back into this and testing. I'm not expecting this to pay off. If it does, though, 2 Dora. And I'm not sure. I don't think Draconis is folding. That's where the issue comes up, yeah. I have just stated what tiles I'm waiting on, so... I mean, if I'm aware people are listening in, I'll have to change what I say, which means I won't be able to explain what I'm doing as much, so that's why we kind of do the mute honor rule. Yeah. Because there's only 4 winning tiles left in the bag, it's looking intuitively unlikely. Also, you could probably guess I'm after a low Sozu from my discards. There's a 1 quite close to when I declare reach, and I reached on a 6. So it's possible that I was extending a chain there. 9 dot is more likely to come up if it does, but... I'm guessing people need it. Is somebody attacking on a dragon? It seems risky, so Draconis is definitely on a hand. I'm forced to discard anything I draw, and this is the second attempt. So did Debbie have a pair of triplets? And So I imagine Debbie has a pair of dragons, which gives her 2 safe tiles if she wants to use them. Either that or Draconis is doing something dodgy and discarded a dragon from a triplet of 3 for defense, which is possible. Getting to the last few tiles now. 6 tiles left to draw before it comes into a draw state. And the high table come from J. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Dong.
That's unfortunate, but there we go. Dealt in. So reach 2 red Dora, and unfortunately no Uradura, so I just gain a starting 6,000 points. And we tally up. Yeah, it was a long shot, but really I was just hoping to put some pressure on. It was still 3 Han, so it's a hand worth going for. And it's early days. If that hadn't paid off, I'd still have time to recover. So now I have a bit of a gap. I have the 30,000 you need as a bare minimum to win a game of mahjong, or for there to be a winner declared. And I'm dealer after this round, which is a nice start. Actually, this is a very nice hand in a lot of ways. And already I've got the double set. Okay, so I have a double run here, effectively. If I draw either of the 2 inner tiles here, especially the 5... Oh, I could go for this. Okay, so on a 4th turn Sanjaku hand, which is a 4, 5, 6... sorry, actually no, it's not a 4, 5, 6 in all sequences. Ah, no, it's not. I need another 6. Or I could go for the Pinfu. Okay, because we're dealer, and this is a 3-10, admittedly, because I've now just changed what I'm doing, and that is unfortunately a really bad decision on my part. I should have discarded the 7. But I'm in a 3-10, 5-8 weight. But if I draw either of those, I can still win. No. I've got all Sozu tiles. I might actually ditch these and see what I can do with this. Poor decision making on my part, really. Because I've given up the Sanjaku. I've locked myself into a 3-10 Pinfu.
Chi.
And I had a really good hand before I did that. Now I've got a bit of a mess. He called the 6. Yeah, I'm kind of changing up because I want to get out of the 3-10 situation. This gives me a lot of outs to do that. I missed the Sanjaku, but I should be able to get to a Pinfu hand at least that I'll be able to just call a cheap win on. Draw practically any Manzu tile or the... 7-7 is dodgy. Oddly, I don't know what my hand looks like particularly here. Okay, 6 dot is annoyingly not a safe tile there, so I might have to fold this. I don't have any safe tiles against him. Anything that's directly safe anyway. Gonna make the assumption on edge 9 that it was called. It's a 4. So I got rid of all my winners, and that is a Mungan hand, and JPB jumps into the lead. Draconis loses a few more points because he was the dealer. And I dip back below 30,000, but I now have the dealer turn, so I now have a chance of winning some bonus points. If the hand is good. Okay, this is actually a really good hand. I might push Honitsu here. I'm dealer, so I can kind of afford to. Also, there's not a lot that's easy to call. I could call a 1 of the 3 if it comes up, but those seem brilliant. Let's dump north and just see what happens here. It's probably on the bare minimum to push for Honitsu, but I'd need something else. Okay, that looks a bit better. So now three draws of West or Honor tiles away from getting this into Honitsu state. I'd prefer to have a bonus set of some kind, either East or Dragon. But if I can draw a couple more Sozi tiles and get rid of these, then this hand's looking extremely good. As it happens, though, that is now a completed set, so I'm probably leaning more towards a Pinfu here. Or possibly an Itsu if I... yay, possible Itsu. It's already started. If the draws come fortunate for me, 6 or 8. Okay. One's quite useful. I could draw 2, and then that gives me a 2-sided 3/6 weight there. In potential. I'm also being very careful not to reveal types now when I do numbered weights, but there's still a bit of a giveaway to a certain Miss Debbie who might be listening in. Hi, wave. Oh, and I dump a pair of Wests. That's unfortunate, but a West is an alien win to us. It's a safe tile at least. It's workable. If I draw a 6 for the 8, then this is an Itsu weight. So... okay, upgrade. So we now have an upgraded Dora. So Itsu... concealed Itsu and 1 Dora would be a very nice hand, actually. Unfortunately, I need to draw that 8 or that 6. I could take an open one, and I might have to now there's 2 8s out. It's getting to the point where I'm going to have to be careful. I don't have... well, I suppose I could escape. And... yeah. Okay, we'll escape to Tenhou. Do you want to kind of explain that? My body balance off, or... yeah, I've been second down for a while. I think I got that on a thing, so... I say, we're in the same rank. It's probably the first time in a while we've been the same rank, but... but yeah, I hit second down a little while ago. I think it was just before I lost the tournament, actually.
Home.
Okay, South call from the point leader. And I can now call for a single weight on that red 5. We have Debbie with a reach. Dora Dragon reach. Okay, we'll play West because there's 2. We've seen a couple of those. And it's a self-drawn win, so Debbie's just giving away 1,000 points. And it's a 2,000 point cheap win for JPB. We probably could have played that a little differently and might have gotten somewhere, but I wasn't going to dump the red 5 in this situation. Dealer or not, it was probably better to keep concealed and just go for the Tenhou with Dora. Still, that's the first wrap around, and I'm in a reasonable enough position. I'm not too far away from the lead. Now, Dragonis was playing Mahjong before my channel, I'm sure he was, or at least before I started playing Mahjong on my channel. Oh yeah, you're multi-channel madness, aren't you? Okay, double East from JPB. I think he's on a bit of a run at the moment, and I need to really stop him. Unfortunately, this hand is not one that's capable of calling to quickly do that. The only hand I could probably call for is a Chanter, 1 or 9 in each set I call. And the hand's nowhere near that, really. So my best bet is to wait for a Pinfu and just stun him. I could possibly go Dragon, but we'll get rid of a 9 for the moment. Again, could call that, but it doesn't really help us a great deal. Do I want to risk the red dragon now? I think we risk the red dragon now. It's turn 4. It's the last time I can really get rid of it, and somebody can call it.
Home.
Okay, Draconis has a dragon. What do I get rid of in this situation? I should probably get rid of my 9-8. If I draw a 7 now, that's made it slightly worse for me. I'm kind of trying to push this back towards a Tenhou situation if I can do it. I also don't want to call against this. That's actually a good draw for us. Okay, let's drop the 1. We've got a pair sorted out. We've got another run. I have 2 pairs actually, so it might end up being a pair weight. But I'm 2 tiles away from tempo, really. Unfortunately, one of those is that. Do I go open? Yeah. Okay.
Home.
Unfortunately, that trade has not worked out for us now because somebody is a little closer. And I still got to get rid of 1 tile. Thankfully, the 8 is safe. So I can call either of the 2s and get to tempo that way. Chanter East is possible. No, I do not want to get rid of a door indicator against that. That could easily be a Honitsu hand. He's discarded 2 Sozu tiles towards the end as well, so I think he's after a high Sozu. I don't think he'd want this 7. I don't think he wants the 8 dot. It was the first thing he got rid of. Arguably, he hasn't discarded a lot of dots after that, but he also didn't do anything to that 9, so... But I'm fairly certain the 7 he needs. Oh, dilemma time. I think we're going to have to... I think I may have to just give this up. Yeah, we'll give this up. He says contemplating it, but I've now got 2 more safe tiles. It's depressing to have to give up on the second row. In fact, before the second row, really. It was sort of 7th discard. But against 2 calls, against the dealer, and with probable 4 Hanon, I can't afford to give anything away that's close to Fedora. I might be able to come back at this, though. If I draw a 6, discard 6, and for God's sake, he got rid of a 7. Arg! That's why I will show you that. Arg. Okay, so everybody's called in this hand. This is a very aggressive one here. And that means everything is kind of risky. I'm actually going to fold this further. I've kind of committed to this. I make the mistake too often of flip-flopping when I'm trying to fold. There are calls on all sides here. I have a safe tile in my red dragon. I have a probable safe tile in my 1 dot. Yeah, 3 2s are gone. I can see 3 3s as well. God damn it. I'm actually going to get to tempo, aren't I? I'm going to draw that 6 on this discard. I am still trying to fold this hand, but I'm folding in such a way that it might be possible that I get tempo again, which is the best way to do it. So I also know 7 safe to my right. I don't know whether it's the best way to go, though. No.
Gone.
I was about to say no point in calling that, but Debbie has got a win here. That's Tenhou, 2 Dora, and 2 Dora. Tenhou 4 Dora is quite a nice hand. So Mungan off for dealer, and she now becomes dealer. We have a game on, folks. So that evens up the board very nicely. It's another argument for trying to fold that, because obviously both Draconis and Debbie were likely to be close or at tempo by that stage. Alright, Green Dragon frees up our Green Dragon, so that's an automatic first discard. So what we're looking for probably here is a 3-4-5 Sanchiku. If we can get the 5 on either of the 2 suits, we're missing it early, then I think that's definitely where we're going to go with this. If we can have a Tenhou as well, that'd be even better. Draw a 9, not terribly helpful. I'm going to get rid of my red dragon here. I prefer to get rid of my dragons early. I
Oh.
know, strictly speaking, you should keep them, but this would have been more serious had it been called, say, second row. So I feel that's probably an okay decision. Let's also get rid of my 9-8 here, because that might hinder my chances of getting to a Tenhou. Although, that's quite good for Pinfu in a lot of ways. I would prefer, obviously, to draw the 5s and get to a Sanjiku as well, but I'm happy enough to just take the... Oh, god damn it. Alright. So I've discarded 3 dragons and a 9 so far. At least they weren't all the same colour, because I've done that before. When 3 of your first 4 discards of the same dragon, that's when problems have definitely come into the game. Let's dump the other 8.
Dong.
Oh, I've dealt in. Okay, Dragon Wandora. That was rather a shock. And that's just evened the game up a little bit more. It passes Debbie's dealer turn away, but obviously now the game is now 3 hands potentially from ending. Assuming one of us gets to that 30,000 figure, which isn't guaranteed. And suddenly we're in need of a hand. And we do have the ability to go quick on this. I can call the 5, I can call the green dragon. I could even call that 1, but we're not going to. And I have an east. East is kind of worthless for us at the moment, because it's not the east round, it's the south. If this was the south, then we'd be definitely keeping this double south. 1 already played now. Now we'll have to see how this goes. I'd like to attack quickly with the dragon and just get a quick win just to get some momentum before my hand starts, but failing that, I'm going to see what I can do to improve things. Potentially I could switch this back into... I don't want to say it's second time this video already, but I'm just looking at possible future Yaku, and that's one of them. Okay, let's dump the 5s here. It's possibly a mistake, but dumping 1 5, if I now draw a 4, it hasn't made a mistake, and if I get something there, then it's still not a mistake. I'm building up towards something. If I draw the 4, then that just makes this massively ideal for us. Yeah, I'll call that. I'm gonna grab this Itsu hand here. So we need the 8 dot to finish it, but I also got the dragon as a backup strategy. And I could also turn this into a Honitsu. Yeah, we push Honitsu now. If I can get Honitsu Itsu, that would be perfectly fine for me. A lot of dots have been discarded, especially the lower ones, so I'm not likely to get any more improvement on this. The 3 might actually become a loose tile. There's that 8 we need. If somebody calls a triplet, I'm going to be annoyed. Okay. But only because I wanted the Honitsu. That's purely it. Drawing another 9 wouldn't be a bad thing right about now. Oh, perfect. Okay. So this gives us a few options here. I can't really call the 3, because if I do, I'm going to leave myself isolated. There's no other 3s available with that other discard. That, though, puts me in a 5-8 Tenpai.
Dong.
And unfortunately, I'm going to take another win off Debbie here. 2,000 points for the Honitsu. That's all I really need. That puts me practically in first place. Short of nothing. But it does mean I'm dealer. I have the East Wind as well. Hand's not that... Oh, Dora East Wind. Okay. I've got potential to go on the attack here. If I draw another East, this hand is just frankly amazing. It's game-winning this late in the game. 2 Dora in the opening hand. What are the chances? That, unfortunately, is annoying. I'm going to have to go for it again, though. If I decided anything else, I would have had that, but anything else would have been a suboptimal discard on basis. I could have got rid of the 1, I guess, but... I need that second East. The second East just makes this hand. Really, I can't call anything else. I think the 1 is the discard here, even though it might end up backfiring if I get the 2. But not backfiring to the extent, I suppose, of being through a 10. It's just that I've got the 2 double connectors effectively here. It could potentially be a long double chain or something. Next thing I'm probably going to get rid of is that, but we'll see. Oh, god damn it. I've discarded a set and a potentially useful tile for sequencing. I'm the only one who can get bonuses off of this East. I mean, it's the door for everybody else, but I'm the only one who can use it for my win condition. But until I get a second, I can't guarantee things. That's not a bad draw. Let's get rid of my 1, 2 on this side. If I can, I'm going to signal. I don't mind signaling so much because I can use that as a semi-bluff. Okay. The alternative option I do have is just go to Tenhou and just get a win. The downside is I've skipped a lot of potential calls now. And that might be causing me some issues. Get rid of a 9. I suppose 7 pairs isn't completely out of the question. And hooray, American's confused. Job done. You say you're confused, but you're technically in the lead, sir. Okay, 2. Kind of works against what we were building here. If I had the 1, I'd have sequence and pair, but I got other bits anyway. I think the best draw for me right now would probably be a 5. Get rid of the East and still be 2 away. Wrong 5. Does open up some other options, though, I suppose. Let's risk the East. If somebody can call that, they can call that. All right, free Dora to my right. He's got to be going for some form of Honitsu, probably on the Sozu, based on our lack. But we are now 1 from 7 pairs Tenpai. If I can draw the 3, the 2, or the 6, I can reach for 7 pairs. And yes, you did, sir.
Gee.
Okay, change plans. So that gives us 2 sets, pair, and potentially a double pair weight. In fact, if I get a 4, it gives me the... Yeah, that's not a bad way to go. So I draw another 3, though. And Debbie reaches, which might... I mean, everybody's close enough. It doesn't take much. Free hand would be enough to come back into this. Oh, God. What are we even playing as this? I'm going to play the 6. If I draw the 3 or the 5, I can potentially go into it. But I think the 5s are out, so really it's just the 3s. That's probably a cut. That's probably a deal in. No, it's not. You're still on for it, though. And I'm not sure what you're going for. You must have a bonus dragon in hand. Or a south, possibly. Okay, I can counter reach. Oh, I said I could counter reach, but fine. We're in now. Committed. 3 dot or nothing. Oh, that was a poor decision. I have 2 winning tiles. I mean, that would have been much better to hold on to or try this with. Could have got rid of the 5, been on a 3-6, which there are still a few options for. I would have been for a 10, though. And I wouldn't have given 1,000 points away. So Debbie gets a free hand. In fact, she gets a Mungan. 2 reach sticks, 1 of it's her own. And I am going to just about hold on to 3rd place from that. Which is going to be interesting things for the ELO-based tournament. Because now my ranking... We're all even for this stage. We're all going to start with a base 600 points. But, yeah, this could be very interesting. I will set this up and explain it in the first Patreon-style video, but it is confusing. As you would expect. This is Tiles of Confusion. If the scoring system is not confusing as well, I've not done my job correctly. I'm probably going to play one more game after this because I am feeling a bit knackered, so... But hopefully next time I'll be starting a little earlier. We drew a Dora. To overtake the lead, we don't need much. A free hand hit on Debbie would be fine. If we get a sumo of enough to cause a draw state, then we go round to a west wind round, so I can definitely be okay with that. Four pairs. I could go toy toy, but I'd have to make sure I get sumo it for enough points. Actually, I guess it would be. Okay, that's not a bad draw. It does change the hand up now. So now we're looking to toy toy. If I can call any pair, any triplets, I'm going to go for it now. Come on, 9 dots. 2 man. Draw the 7 would be fine. That would just give me a lot of options from that stage. Green Dragon. Thankfully, that's a couple of those have been played, so that's going to be fine. I didn't actually. I have nothing to say on that subject, really. Okay, we'll get rid of the 5 dot. Bit risky at this point, but I'm going to have to take some risks. I'm in third. Ideally, I'd love to draw another 7, though.
Each.
Okay, White Dragon's safe. Do I want to take the gamble?
Home.
Discarding this is just so difficult at the moment.
Each.
Debbie does not need to reach from that position. Oh, I could get to tempo.
Chi.
Oh, I've gone the pot now. I've given up. But I don't need that many points. I just need to take a few points off her and I can do it. So, what the heck is he doing?
Dong.
Oh, man, this is this. Debbie has won, and that is enough. One hand from the lead, reach only, which I guess makes a little bit more sense than what she was doing. And thus we have our first result, and Debbie will begin with a plus 44. I will convert this into the thing, so huzzah. So JPB getting plus 6 and whatever. I'll probably keep both sets of scores, so I'll have the official rankings in terms of plus minus as it was last year, but we'll also have the ELO ranking when we get around to it. Right. On to round 2, which is going to be the last round of the night. And next time we will probably be starting a little earlier. Depends how long the historical war games go on for, I guess. But good game. Okay, so I'm starting west again. JPB is the starting dealer this time. And I've got a bit of a clumsy hand, really. 4 pairs, not a lot of sequencing between that. So I'm pretty much looking at 7 pairs or something shenanigan-y. We do approve of our shenanigans at times. South doesn't benefit us that much. What this will mean is for round 2, effectively, Debbie's now got a higher value than us, so beating her is worth more now, technically. There are sort of boundaries and brackets, so it might not have triggered it just yet. But in future, you will lose less points in the ELO ranking, obviously, playing higher opponents. But since you're judged against each of the other 3... No, we established you were JPB, Marijan. That was you, sir. You are the JPB. If somebody else is actually the JPB, I would love to know. Okay, Dora, which is a shame that's gone, but I might be able to get another one. 7, 8, 9 Sanchku is potential. Plus 1 Dora. That wouldn't be a bad hand to go for, actually. So I could even probably... Yeah, we'll do that. Well, we'll lean ourselves a little more to his pin food because the multiple pairs aren't really helping us that much. But the aim here, ideally, is a 7, 8, 9 Sanchku. Especially if we get the Dora one. Fortunately, we have double callage going on from the player to my left, who is Draconis again. Yeah, you are ranking decently. You're plus 6. And Debbie goes straight for the Kung Pao reach. Nah, I can't realize his own account. And yeah, I could have called that to start running the sequence in, but I'm not going to. So go to my 1s and then see where we are once we get around to our next turn. And where we are is not that much better. I imagine Draconis is still going to have to go for this, so we're going to have to consider safety on his end as well. Especially if he's calling again. So Dragon Honitsu is likely. Actually, I'm annoyingly only 1 or 2 from Tenpai at this stage, aren't I? That was around with Aegon, though, if I remember rightly.
Gong.
Okay, and Zoe wins on the 8, and that gives her reach and not a lot else. Yes, I think. Actually, no, he wasn't in the same match, I don't think. I will have to check the footage later, sir. Okay, North to start with. I should probably got rid of the East because since it's Fedora Indicator, it's unlikely that somebody's going to have a pair, or it's slightly more unlikely. And of course, if I draw a pair, then I'm even more unlikely to draw that last one. Bonus tile or not, so we'll get rid of East here. Maybe it was towards the end, but I don't remember. I can't remember exactly. It was a long 4.5 hours mahjong session. And there will probably be another one towards the end of this year. But yeah, we know JPB's in the chat because he has a link to the video, and I only put it in this video. So he is in the chat. Unfortunately, I don't think I have a way of finding out who is... Oh, actually... Okay, this is the participants list. Those are the people currently participating in this stream. Now, it might be that he's turned it off, but these are the suspects. And since Little Debbie, myself, Draconis are playing, I narrow it down to Marishan again. So, Mara, what do you say? Is it all a bluff? Are you waiting to win that trophy and just go, mine? We will find you, JBB. We will find you. Mind you, the peak current is 7, and that's 6. Unless it doesn't count myself, that might be 2 people who are not in. Yeah, I was thinking that, but still, he has to do the link and whatever else, so he does have to be logged into YouTube for the link. Also, I should be paying way more attention to the game, but, you know, this is the mystery. That was also probably not the best thing to get rid of right there. It might work out fine, but I'm now locking myself into a double pair weight here. So no Dora. Probably having to reach it as well. It might just be reach only. A couple of green dragons have been played. I suppose if I were to draw something incidental, that's fine. I believe you. I do believe you, in all honesty. You'd have slipped and said something meaningful about mahjong by this point if you were him. And Egan's kind of out. He was kind of abysmal. Well, no, he wasn't all that bad in fairness. He understood the rules a bit better than I thought he did. So if he is JPB, he's playing a blinder. But also needs to be banned and promoted for impersonating a JPB. Okay, I'm still 2 from Tenpai and we're entering the 3rd row, so I'm thinking I'm not going to get anything out of this one. I'm the 8 now. This has pretty much locked me into this, but I'm not going to get a high value hand anyway, so we'll see. I can always dump the 1s and see if we can push a Tenhou towards the end.
Gee.
Yeah. We'll bluff it and see if we can get everybody to fold. Which, you know, might have happened. I don't know. Did they just draw these, or are these just incidental safe time? I suppose they both already discarded 1, so I doubt it is that. Those could be safe tiles against me, though. You know what? I could even be on for a 6, 7, 8 Sanchku by the end of this. Yeah, they're playing defensive against this. I mean, I've only made one late call, but they've all decided, you know what, it's not worth it. Maybe. I never know with Debbie. Okay, 4 tiles to draw. And a last turn reach. It's not something I can call. Do I have anything easily safe against that? I'm not sure I do, actually. Two's not safe. It passed, but it wasn't necessarily safe. Okay. So about Debbie does at least get the win out of that with a last turn reach. I was slightly confused there at some stage as to who was who, but I've just remembered. Debbie's no longer in the seat across from me. She's in the seat to my right. I am starting as dealer, and we're going to toss for North to begin with. So we have Carnage potential. It's isolated, a triplet. If I get a 4th, I might be tempted. Especially the rest of the hand looks good. Tenhou. Dora 1. It's not looking like a bad hand at all, this one. There's some dealer. It's quick. I can call of it. I've got a Karn on. Draconis will be ecstatic. First Karn of 2017. Mind you, knowing him, he'll probably just Karn now and beat me. Alright, Green Dragon.
Home.
Okay, call by the JPB man.
Home.
Call by Debbie. Okay, 8's not particularly helpful. She's improving. She's been improving for a time. She does tend to occasionally slip into being a bit silly, but she's definitely improving as a player. And sometimes being aggressively silly works. That's the thing. It's not a guaranteed thing that she's just bluffing. Sometimes she isn't. And that's what's scary about it sometimes. It's like these crazy players in poker will bid on everything. Some players can make that work, and some players use that to mask bluffs. And it's always the case. You will eventually have a decent hand, and they will believe you are possibly bluffing because you bluff all the time. Similar thing in mahjong. Being ultra aggressive does work as long as you can manage it. So I am definitely leaning towards a Tenhou here. It's worth going for. I'd like to Khan, obviously, because that's just advantage. And especially as only one player can reach Draconis. It's looking like a two-sided weight at the very least, regardless of this. Let's go that way around. Three or 5 is always a bit of a dodgy one, whichever one you get rid of, but this leaves me with a 2-5, which I think is a slightly better weight.
Gee.
2 calls. I might have to take some gambling here if I don't get this soon. I need to roll a 1, 4, 5, or 8. Does that actually help me? I think that does. That's annoying. Now, I need to complete one of these sequences, otherwise I'm not going to get this hand finished. Hello, Mr. In the Clouds, sir. How are we doing? I can even call from Draconis as well. This is what's annoying about this. If he discards any Sozu I can call, I can just get the Tenpai from that. Okay. From that, I'm getting rid of a 6 dot. This late at night, this is mahjong time.
Kang.
Perfect. 1, 4. Unfortunately, I need the 4. It's got to be the 4, and I see a couple of 4s already played. This is not a good weight. That does not help me. If I can pair up the 2 of the 3 though, that would allow me to switch and be in a better position. Although the 3 there's not a lot of 3s out there.
Each.
Does not reach with the 4 so, and I cannot win with that. I am now for a 10. So I've got to win on my own draw of the 4 so with this particular hand as it stands right now. And does Debbie just dealt in?
Home.
No. 7 dials to draw. I'm going to have
Sumo.
basically none of them. JPB just gets the win. Oh, did I give you... No, I only gave you 1, Dora. Okay. So JPB is just smoking ahead of the field right now. I have a triplet of Norths in East 4. I am just about circling the Rainbow Draconis here. Not been a good day for the 2 better players, we'd argue. The JPB, I'd be honest, I've played with him a lot over the last hit, and he's sometimes erratic, sometimes he's amazing, and sometimes he just falls apart. This seems to be one of his more amazing days. G would have been helpful. Okay, well, let's go with this for the moment. I can probably push to a dot Honitsu quite easily with this. And if I can get the... I've already got one triplet of bonus tiles, so I can afford to go slightly more in on this. Yeah, we can definitely go slightly more in on this. So we are looking to dot Honitsu now. Of course, if I draw pairs of the other bonus tiles in getting to this, I'll just go for the Yakuman instead. We haven't had a Yakuman on the mahjong streams at all. So why not? All honours Tenpai. No, I really should have done that a long time ago, but lots of things have happened. I'm going to have to put that on the agenda to do and seriously do what I mean. Indeed, this is potentially true. It could be in the clouds, but he's not been around for a while, so it seems unlikely. Unless all that comment about XCOM was a cunning bluff. I may just have to put a little... I just have to make a thumbnail. Are you JPB? And just have that as the front point for all the Mahjong Night videos. Or at least some kind of small little, you know, image of us playing Mahjong and just the mysterious JPB in the background. Well, there's not likely to be another game. This is going to be my last one of the night, unfortunately. However, you'd be welcome to join next week when I'm doing this again. Yeah, I should probably get rid of a south. I'm just having a look at what's available here. So that works quite well. Gives me another tile I can call. Oh, we're going to Saki this. I should probably got rid of the 8 as well. So we have a Khan potential here. He's actually making more sense than he seems to be, which is worrying. There's also 2 red dragons played, so I should probably get rid of that. North is still kind of open. But JPB is about to win, so I might have to... He's not put off by this so far. If I draw something that I can use this with, I might just go Khan and see what happens. As it is, I'm not there yet. Alright, here we go. We've gone a bit all in on this one now. I should really be getting rid of this 8, but this North rather, but here we go. There's 1, 2 left.
Each. Hung.
That is the worst response to that ever. But I have just picked up 3 Dora. No, wait a minute. Green, red, white. There we go. I have not picked up 3 Dora. Well, 2 dot, 8 dot.
Gee.
Okay then. Yeah, man, should be fine to the left. I have no idea across, and that's fine up top.
Each.
Oh, this is a strange game now. Somebody is going to lose it in a big way, and I think it might just be me. It's not going to be me today, though. That was a terrible hand to try that with. We hit Mungan, though, and that just about puts us back in contention. So, start of South 1. I am 100 points down on where we started, which is not a bad place to be at all, really. In second place, 2 pairs. Oh, again, this could be a similar hand to the last one, really, the way this is working. We'll go to my lone 4 up. I will make an effort. I promise you, I will try to make an effort.
Gee.
Because it's honestly, it was a Patreon pledge as well, so I really should get on that. Unfortunately, I've just got so many projects on the go at the moment. That's the main reasoning, but it's a poor excuse. I promised to do it, so I shall try to make do. This is being very aggressive right now. This is probably being too aggressive, but I want to kick the leader off a dealer spot, and this looks like a hand I could do that with. If I draw another East or a... Well, East looks unlikely, but if I draw another dragon, or draw the 8, and this is actually looking quite good. A year at least. I said they were doing either as a Patreon project, but nah, it needs to be done. I even scripted a couple of episodes of it, so really I've got no excuse. There's no reason, really. Honestly, no reason. That's a mistake, but it is early days, and I'm going a bit to pot. $6 does not help me in this situation. It's a little dodgy to the right, but if it is dodgy to the right, it's only for a cheap hand. At least based on what's been shown thus far, so... I mean, I've got 2 of her bonus tiles, so the only thing she could have is red or green. Or just not a lot else. Yeah, $7 doesn't help, unfortunately. Okay, 1 south is gone. Whites are mostly gone. I mean, I've got the west in, so I can always just go for a cheap 1 door win if I get the 6 here, but... Yeah, that's not a bad thing, actually. Do I want to risk the green dragon, though? No, I don't think so. We'll go south. So that gives me a Tenpai call if I need to it. So I can 8 or 6 just get the call for Tenpai. If North comes up, I can call that for Tenpai. Actually, no, I can't. That wouldn't be Tenpai. A couple of options on that closed. Really slightly concerned about this by this stage, though. It's only going to be cheap. And unfortunately, that's the one tile I couldn't call with. It is a poor, unloved white dragon at this stage, but only because 2 of them have already gone. No. Definitely worth considering, but no. Would be a good thing to show, though. Especially since I'm after Manzi tiles, really. Come on, 8 man. No. Oh, that makes the dragon difficult. Okay, folding. JPB wins, he's in last place, and I'm okay with that. He takes more points off JPB, so I'm happy to just try and fold this. Yeah, no sense in attacking this one. Says me. Debbie says something differently. So does JPB. I'm the only one defending here. Mind you, I'm saying I'm defending. I've called twice and not got to Tenpai from those 2 calls. So, mistakes have been made. Mistakes have been made. Okay. The worst thing for me is if I deal into JPB right now. So I'm going to play safe against him. If Draconis gets the points, it's a pain. Moves him off the dealer spot, though. I was hoping for the Hatsu to come clear at some stage, but we'll see what happens. West Wind, I've got 4 of them. We'll just discard that.
Sumo.
Self-drawn win. That's okay. So reach Pinfu. Okay. Yeah, reach Pinfu Sumo. Not very big. Unfortunately, that's not even really close the gap to the leader, but puts me one turn away from dealer. Yeah, this is an okay starting hand, actually. Yeah, East can go away for now. If I draw the closed 3, then I think this is a really good hand. As it turns out, though, I'm going to make a decision on my dragons and go white. Hey, nobody called it. One south has been played. Let's try for green. That also doesn't get called. Okay. So 7, 8, 9 and 6, 7, 8 Sand Cues are potentially on. But failing that, any win that will give us the dealership back is what we want. Okay. Rather not have you win right now if I can avoid that. Don't want any dealer rampages. Yeah, either of those would be fine. 4 bamboo, probably a little less so, although now it definitely is useful. I think at this point I'm going to give up the south plan. Just because I need efficiency, especially against 2 calls from a dealer.
Kang.
Oh, he beats me to the first... Actually, no, I already can't this thing. Okay, fair enough. No, all is forgiven. You can be Carnage. So, probably a Manzu Honitsu. With 3 Dora, dear God. Alright, so Draconis is on for a Hanneman. Yeah, I just cannot do anything against this. He did understand a thing, therefore he must go, because clearly this is too much knowledge.
Sumo.
Self-drawn. Did he have it? He had it. Oh, that is evil, sir. Dealer Hanneman. I'm going to end in 3rd place again at this rate. This being said, this is not a bad hand to come back with. This is not bad at all. It has options. Wish I had more Dora, but, you know, can't have everything. Yeah, sometimes it just takes that one big hand, and that is... It was on for Mungan anyway. It was going to be a big enough hand for him, certainly. Would have put him in front. I think that Mungan would have done that. Dealer Mungan, 12,000. Probably would have done. In fact, definitely would have done. But jeez, that is a hand capable of winning at this point. Basically, we need some luck now in order to get back into this game. And this hand potentially could do it. If I can get another couple of these triplets finished, I could even go Sununko. Maybe some Carnage for draws. God damn it. I hate giving up pairs when I'm in this sort of triplet hand, because pairs are especially helpful. But the 3 is closer to Fedora, so, you know, I could make a 3-4-5 potentially down the line. 3-5 Sanchku is still very much a thing with this hand. Double South, which is the only reason I'm going to keep the South over the 3. East does not help us. Somebody, though, wants it. Is it the dealer?
Home.
No, for some reason it's Debbie. Hatsu's dead, but it's not completely worthless in this hand.
Each.
It's 2 safe tiles if I need it.
Gong.
Wow, Rikipatsu and not much. Still, it makes me dealer and it brings him closer in line. It moves second a bit further away from me, but I'm okay with that. But yeah, the Hatsu was dead, but it was a pair, so it's not completely worthless. Which there is a distinction, especially as my hand was looking towards being toy at that point. Didn't obviously didn't pay off, but you know. It's worth keeping those rather than just discarding them straight away. I'd prefer to discard when I need safe tiles rather than just because I can. Especially when I did need to get the points off of him. So I'm 11,000 off the lead. I am now dealer. And I would love to push this into a Chinitsu. Would love to push this into a Chinitsu. Is this going to work? Probably not. Do I have another choice? Probably, actually. But let's just see what happens. Okay, this is going well. So I'm 2 away from Honitsu. With ideal draws. And I'm probably going to start calling, actually, at this point. If I'm gonna add a Honitsu Itsu or Honitsu. Oh, this is just going. So what do we think? Honitsu 7 pairs? I think I've hit a Honitsu. I think I've hit a 7 pairs Chinitsu before, and I was told that a Baiman Chinitsu was just sick. I think that was a Mr. Viking who mentioned that at one point. Oh, okay. Honitsu 7 pairs is on. Yeah, if I genuinely draw that 7, though. This is even Ryan Peiko. If I draw a 7, this is Ryan Peiko territory. This is a ridiculous hand. Oh, do I want to call that? I want to call this, but I'm going to hold off. Okay. This is still fine. If I draw that 3, we're Ryan Peikoing this, though. 2 7s have gone. I could have called that and gone the Chinitsu route, but if I draw another 9, then this puts me into something else quite awesome. Gives me Ipeiko, Honitsu. I might just have to try something now. There's no way I'm playing defensive against this. This is a hand that can win me the game. Dealer is 1,000 points down. I think, though, I've got to call things. Yeah, call the 9, toss the 7, and hope. Green dragon. At this point, a live dragon, sir. Right. Is there a call that helps me? That puts me Tenpai. I've killed it. I've killed the big value here, but I need the dealer win here. More than that, so I'm just going to take the Tenpai. Last remaining 9. Last remaining East. It's 2 tiles, but it's 2 tiles. Oh, and Debbie's going to attack as well, just to add some spice to this ruined hand that I've now got. Door West. I know, I just got rid of that without looking, but yeah, that was thankfully safe. East is thankfully a safe tile to the reach player, so I might just get it out. Yeah, there's no reason for anybody else to keep an east right now. If they draw it, they will get rid of it. For 9, there's one last left. I might be able to direct something. Changing things doesn't really matter at this point. I've just got to go in with this. I'll take the draw. Certainly take the draw, but it's not happened. Ah, it feels bad. That was painful. Now I get all the easts in the world. All right. So what's my comeback from here? I'm only 10,000 points behind. So a Mungan's enough. In fact, a free Han direct hit would be enough. So what do we look here? Chanter? Chanter Dragon would be fine. I could take Chanter Dragon with the last hand to go. Which I think I have to look for. Chanter Dragon, Dora 1. Yeah, I need more than that. It's unfortunate, but this happens. I can also secure second by just overtaking JPB, so this is looking quite good, actually. It's a shame the tiles are not, at the moment, giving me the Sanshku, which would be perfect. Sanshku Chanter, free Han, plus Dora. I think I might incidentally keep this on the basis that if I could stretch to 7, 8, 9, it feels unlikely. Well, it feels slightly more likely now. Okay. So 7, 8, 9's Chanter Sanshku is what we're looking at here. I might have to get rid of this 2-3, but this is the only way I can realistically overtake the lead. Can I do it open? Chanter 1, Sanshku 1. No, I don't think I can do it open. Not unless I got the direct hit. Oh dear God, this is just getting a bit insane now. Okay. So East is worthless. We'll probably be tossing one of these for a pair at some stage. So we have our pair established. I just now need to draw the 3 incidental tiles in the middle of this. 2 of them would do.
Dong.
Oh, okay. That's game. GG, guys. Oh dear. Well, I've ended up third twice, and that's going to put some interesting things on this. That's mahjong. It just happens. I'm not that upset about it. I've lost far too many bigger hands than that to be really worried. But Ryan Paco, I always love to try to get because it's such an odd one to turn up. And I did pull one off on this channel before, and I know it's my favorite Yaku to have an attempt at. If you know, give me no other options, I will go Ryan Paco. So I will go and amend some scorage. I have a feeling JPV might be on top of both lists at this stage, but I will sort it out next time. Next week, we will do more Tiles of Confusion. Thanks for joining me, guys. As always, I will catch you another time. Till then.